So keep an eye open for that. You'll be getting that email or notification. Now, the FAA and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy say this is all necessary to maintain safety at the airports and in the skies. Since the government shutdown started October 1st, air traffic controllers have not been getting paid. They are working 6 days a week with mandatory overtime, and that is putting a strain on them. Many of them are calling out sick, which is adding to the shortage of controllers that the country has already been experiencing for years now. Transportation Secretary Duffy was on Fox and Friends earlier today.
We were seeing increased pressure in these 40 markets, and we looked at the data. This was data-driven, and so taking 10% of the flights out will reduce that pressure, which is what we want to do. Now, does that mean there's going to be no delays? No, Brian. There's potentially still going to be delays if we have staffing triggers, and we don't have enough controllers in an airspace where we did cut 10%. You might see additional delays.
And Secretary Duffy, as well as the FAA, saying the decision to reduce traffic by 10%, that will be reversed once the government shutdown is over. But it will not be immediate. It could take days before they get air traffic back to normal. But again, I just want to point out, I'm looking at the board here out at LaGuardia. So far, for the most part, everything running on time. But look for those emails if you have flights booked, because you're going to start getting notified today about canceled flights. Bianca, back inside to you.
And we haven't even started the holiday travel yet, too, so what a nightmare. All right, Linda, thanks so much.
Yep.
Well, much of the tri-state experiencing damaging winds overnight, and today, this video is from Richfield, New Jersey, shot shortly after a tree came crashing right into this brick home. We're told people inside at that time, they had to be evacuated. We know that the power had to also be turned off. A car that was parked nearby was also damaged. You can see the back window shattered there. All right, let's take you to Bayside, Queens. This is 34th Avenue and 203rd Street. That's where a tree also came down. This tree uprooted by the wind. It shows you just how strong and windy it has been. Turning now to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. Let's bring in Liv Johnson at the Weather Center. Definitely felt that wind yesterday. Also this morning, you know, you can deal with the cold, but as soon as you feel the wind, you're like, oh, that's what hurts.
Yeah, and that's really going to be the only thing that we deal with today. We don't have a high wind advisory or anything like that throughout the area, but it's still going to be a breezy afternoon. And as Bianca said, it's already been a breezy morning. Right now, temperatures just crossing into the 50s. It's 51 in New York, 53 out on Long Island. We have 50 up in Hartford. Just got to 50 for Poughkeepsie, but Monticello still in the low 40s at 43 degrees right now, and we won't climb much higher. We have a high of about 52 today, so again, not really going to get much warmer. Wind speed right now, pretty strong, about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Yeah, we're at 14 in New York, but, you know, close to 15. We'll go a little bit higher as we go through the afternoon. We're gusting closer to 30 miles per hour in New York City, up to 35 out on Long Island, Hartford, Monticello, down the shore. So like I said in the beginning, no wind advisory for us today, but we do have really strong wind speeds. They'll let up a little bit into this evening, so we just kind of have to get through the afternoon before those breezy conditions make their way out. Clear skies right now. It's going to be a sunny day and a sunny Friday, but then we are expecting some showers to roll in Friday night into Saturday. I'll get to that later in the show. Bianca?
All right, Liv, thanks so much. Meanwhile, as Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani gets set to take over City Hall, he's looking for more help. Lisa Evers joins me now with more on what Mamdani is doing to staff up his administration. Lisa.
Well, Bianca, right now, New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is expected to attend the Somos Conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The annual conference is focused on empowering the Hispanic community and draws a who's who of elected officials, business and labor leaders, as well as major community organizations. Meantime, here in the city, the mayor-elect is hanging out the Help Wanted sign for jobs in his administration. Zohran Mamdani announced his all-female transition team in Queens, saying that his administration will cast a wide net to put in place the right people to further his agenda. This morning, he posted a tweet on his X account announcing, "We're hiring," and providing a job portal link to send in resumes. The application asks for the usual information, name and contact info and location. It also gives areas of subject matter expertise, ranging from arts and culture to community organizing, technology, and worker justice. Now, the application also includes a section at the bottom where you can make a donation to Mamdani. He says the continued fundraising is to fund his transition team so that they can do the best job for the people, but it is raising some eyebrows. Bianca?
Interesting. Is that normal for them to do that?
We haven't really seen that before, but, you know, this is a whole new day.
Yeah, it certainly is. Lisa, thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right, a Nassau County police officer who was critically injured while escorting a funeral procession was released from the hospital today. Officer Michael Highland greeted with applause and cheers from fellow officers as he left Stony Brook University Hospital this morning. Highland underwent weeks of treatment after being hit by a truck while riding his motorcycle. Highland was on duty at the time, leading a funeral procession, and doctors say his injuries were extensive, and it's also a miracle that he survived.
For someone to sustain those injuries at someone around my age, and that we're discharging, truly is marvelous. It's incredible.
Doctors say Highland spent 29 days in the ICU and was on life support for 8 days. He's now going to begin inpatient rehab. All right, coming up, shocking news from the NFL. We're following a breaking story this afternoon from Dallas, where a player on the Cowboys has died at the age of 24. And then later, the Nancy Pelosi era coming to an end in Washington. Details on the major announcement she made this morning.
Back.
We're following some tragic news from the NFL this morning. A Dallas Cowboys defensive end has died. Nealand was just 24 years old and in just his second season with the team. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis joins us live from the newsroom with more on this breaking story. Antoine.
Well, Bianca, we're still waiting for more information from Texas authorities who apparently are investigating this as a suicide, but there appears to be more. Now, here's what I can report so far. According to the Associated Press, authorities say that 24-year-old Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Nealand was found dead early this morning. According to the AP, officers found Nealand with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say that Nealand was evading Texas state troopers in his vehicle and then ran from the scene of an accident when he was found dead by authorities. He'd been with the Cowboys for about 2 years. Neyland appeared in 7 games for Dallas so far this season. He was a draft pick going in the 2nd round back in 2024, coming out of Western Michigan University. Now, the Cowboys released a statement saying that they were deeply saddened by Neyland's passing and that their thoughts are with his girlfriend and family. But again, we're waiting for more information to come in on this, but we can report Marshawn Neyland, 24-year-old Dallas Cowboys defensive end, has passed away. We also want to tell you about this. If you are someone or you know someone struggling or in crisis, help is available. Please call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number that you see right there is 988. From the newsroom this noon, I'm Antoine Lewis. We'll send things now back upstairs to you, Bianca.
Thank you for including that information at the end there, Antoine.
Absolutely.
Certainly appreciate it. All right, next at noon, a major announcement from Nancy Pelosi today, what the longtime lawmaker is saying about her political future. And later, the temperature is dropping, and so is funding to help those who need it, especially when it comes to paying for heat. We'll talk about it after the break. Developing news this morning out of Washington. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will not seek re-election to Congress. Pelosi, who represented San Francisco for nearly 40 years, made this announcement this morning. The 85-year-old is an architect of the Affordable Care Act and a leader on the international stage. Most recently, Pelosi quietly helped orchestrate Joe Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race. And now it appears that she's passing the torch as well. Pelosi's term in Congress ends on January 3rd of 2027. And the outgoing government shutdown leading to concerns that many people will not be able to pay for heat this winter. Fox 5's Judy Goldberg shows us how the lapse in federal funding is impacting an energy program that many New Yorkers rely on.
As temperatures start to drop, so does the hope for thousands of Long Islanders waiting for heating help that hasn't come.
Here on Long Island, there are near and around 70,000 people that will be losing collectively a $20 million benefit.
The Federal Home Energy Assistance Program, known as HEAP, helps low-income New Yorkers pay their heating bills by sending money directly to their vendors for delivery of heat. But this year, because of the government shutdown, the program has been delayed.
I think it's a shame, and right around the holidays. This is the worst time that they could do this.
It's time for it to be over.
From seniors to single parents, it's a crisis, according to Teresa Regnanti, who has led the United Way of Long Island for close to 20 years.
We want people to use the federal benefit first, and the United Way to be like the payer of last resort. It seems like this year we might have to be the first payer and government being the second.
Regnanti says this is the worst she's ever seen, not just because HEAP is on hold, but because it's happening at the same time other major programs are too.
We've never had to be in the business of stocking our garage with food and making deliveries to Salvation Army, churches.
For years, United Way's privately funded Project Warmth program has filled the gap for those who haven't qualified for HEAP. But this year, there's a greater need.
We'll have a lot of people, especially asking for Project Warmth because we have less stringent guidelines.
Now, United Way hopes to nearly double the Project Warmth fund from $900,000 to $1.5 million. They'd also like to start the program earlier and keep it open longer just to meet the need.
We don't want, especially seniors, choosing between can I fill my prescription, can I eat, or do I stay warm?
United Way is vowing to fill the gap, one household at a time.
Might not be 100% of what needs to get done, but we're going to try our very best.
On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
All right, let's turn now to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. A live look at Lady Liberty. A little bit shaking in the live picture there because the wind, I'm assuming that. But, let's check with the experts. The camera's a little bit shaky right there because of the wind, right?
Consider yourself an expert. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting there.
And it was because of the wind, yeah. That's what we have to do today, and we're looking at some cooler temperatures. We'll just get into the low 50s today, high of 52 in New York. We'll just climb a couple degrees, so we'll get to the mid-50s out on Long Island, and we'll stay in the 40s for places like Monticello. Let's look at those wind speeds right now. Again, 14 miles per hour in New York. We have 22 out on Long Island and down the shore in New Jersey. 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds in Hartford, but gusting closer to 30, 35. Remember, I said earlier, this is going to stay the same through the entire afternoon, but then it lets up a little bit as we get into the evening. We're looking at mainly clear skies, and let's go back to those highs to get them exactly. 53 in New York, 54 out east, 49 up in Hartford, 51 for Poughkeepsie. As I said, Monticello just stays in the 40s and the low 40s at that, just a high of 44. We're a little bit below average for this time of year, and definitely a big difference from yesterday. Yesterday was nice and warm. It was still breezy, but we got into the 60s. That is a very different picture for us today. We're 9 degrees cooler than we were this time yesterday, and a couple of larger differences for places like Monticello and Sussex. The next couple of days will go back up to being in the 60s, so Saturday should be a pretty nice day, although we are going to see some showers Friday night into Saturday and then also Sunday as well. But we're mild until the start of next week, and I'll get to that on the 7-day forecast where things really take a turn. Feel like temperatures, I wanted to bring this up because obviously usually when it's cooler and we have these strong wind speeds, it tends to bring us down a good bit with wind chill, but it's really not going to feel too different outside. I mean, up in Monticello, it feels like 34, so that definitely makes a difference when we feel closer to freezing, but New York is only feeling a few degrees cooler than the actual temperature. We do have high pressure moving in, so that's going to keep us dry for the rest of today and then into tomorrow. But as I said, we have this cold front that's traveling, and it's going to bring us some showers probably around dinner time Friday. Then it gets out of the way. You can enjoy your Saturday, but then Sunday we're also looking at some showers that seem to be, we could see kind of scattered on and off throughout Sunday. But right now, the rain that it does look like we're going to get tomorrow night, not too bad. Lows tonight, 40 in New York, but most of us will be in the mid-30s. We get below freezing for some areas like Hartford, a low of 28. We have an overnight low of 30 for Poughkeepsie and 27 for Monticello. So here's that temperature drop I was talking about. We go back up into the upper 50s tomorrow and then the 60s Saturday and Sunday. So that's nice. But then look at the big drop that we have on Monday. The wind picks back up and we're just looking at highs in the 40s for the start of next week. Bianca.
Oof, definitely chilly there. All right, Liv, thanks so much. All right, developing news. It is day 37 of the government shutdown, now officially the longest federal closure in history. As the days tick by, the shutdown's impact on everyday life grows more precarious. Federal officials announced plans to cut down flights by 10% in multiple high-traffic areas. This is due to staffing shortages. And the future of SNAP also uncertain. House Republicans and Democrats are at an impasse.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
The sole reason for all the American people suffering all this pain and hardship is because of the fear of political retribution from the far-left activists who run the Democrat Party.
The Senate is not scheduled to vote again today, but Senate Majority Leader John Thune did say the Senate could stay through the weekend if there is a path forward. All right, next at noon, if you're looking to get better sleep at night, you might want to get moving. What a new study says about physical activity and sleep, and how hard you need to exercise to get the benefits. A new study finds that COVID vaccines protect kids from developing a serious heart condition caused by the coronavirus. Researchers analyzed medical records from 14 million children in England and found that those who didn't get the COVID vaccine had a higher risk of developing rare heart inflammation and clotting that lasted up to a year. This is compared to those who did get the vaccine. The findings support continued vaccination in children to minimize dangerous risks linked to COVID-19. And heavy drinking could significantly increase your risk of a stroke. According to researchers at Harvard, stroke victims that were heavy drinkers experienced more severe bleeding strokes. Heavy drinkers were also more likely to have strokes in their 60s, 11 years earlier than non-heavy drinkers. Heavy drinking is defined by having 3 or more alcoholic drinks a day. Daily drinkers were also found to suffer a deeper brain bleed and long-term brain damage. All right, exercising every day could improve sleep quality, according to research from the University of Texas at Austin, especially deep sleep, where the body and mind can recover from the day. Researchers say the more people engaged in moderate to vigorous activity, the more REM sleep they got at the beginning of the night. While light activity like walking can also help, you may need to kick it up a notch. So if you can't comfortably hold a conversation, that is how you know that you are in the vigorous activity category, and you should do that for at least 10 minutes each day. Meanwhile, first-time homebuyers are now older than ever. According to the National Association of Realtors, the typical first-time homebuyer in the U.S. is now 40 years old, which is the oldest on record. In 2021, the median age for first-time homebuyers was 33 years old. Only 21% of buyers were first-timers in the past year, which is a brand new record low. A recent BMO survey showed 6 in 10 younger Americans say they could not have purchased their home without family help, in part because they are competing against all cash bids. A record 26% of buyers have paid with cash in the past year. And a 5-year lawsuit began between Google and the maker of Fortnite. It may be coming to an end finally. Video game company Epic Games says it has reached a, quote, comprehensive settlement with Google to end a case over the tech giant's Play Store app on Android phones. Now, the original lawsuit claimed that Google bypassed exclusive payment processing systems and then charged up to 30% for commissions on purchases made in Fortnite. Now, the terms of this agreement were not immediately announced. All right, next at noon, a new museum is opening up in Harlem. We are taking you inside the Studio Museum and showing you some of the incredible works on display here. Plus, it's one of the hardest jobs out there. It's often unpaid. We're talking National Caregiver Awareness Month with some very special guests.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. Major crime is down citywide. A record number of new homes have been created, and a brand new universal after-school program is available for our kids. With safer streets and thriving small businesses, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
Fox Local.
It is 12:30 right now. Welcome back to the noon. Here's what we have coming up here in the rest of the show. We're taking you inside the Studio Museum in Harlem and checking out some of the stunning artwork on display there. And sports producer Lou Albanese joins me for Kicking and Screaming as we talk trades that broke the Jets fans' hearts. A crazy viral video of a young kid just losing it over this trade, but there's a happy ending here. But let's first get another live look outside here. It's a happy ending in terms of no rain. There we go. we'll find the silver lining no matter how cold it is. But it is a clear, stunning day out there. Liv Johnson is at the Weather Center for the full forecast, but we did endure some of those crazy winds last night and a little bit this morning.
Yeah, but we just have to get through the afternoon and then we're really in the clear, but then rain returns for the weekend. So cool and windy start. Winds relax soon, like I said, really just about by dinner time, things should feel a lot more calm. More showers Friday night into Saturday. And then we have cold temperatures on the horizon next week, really cold. 51 right now in New York, 50 for LaGuardia, a little warmer for Atlantic City where it's 56. Most of us just climbing a couple degrees into the low 50s, and a lot of us staying in the upper 40s if you're further north. Our satellite radar, though, is looking nice, right? We saw the live picture, we have plenty of sunshine, and we have high pressure moving in, so not much to worry about. And even when we do get rain tomorrow, it's not too bad. So later tonight, about dinner time, or maybe you're leaving work a little late, temperatures will have already dropped into the 40s. And if you're up in the Hudson Valley, temperatures have dropped into the 30s. In places like Poughkeepsie, Monticello cools down really quickly. Clear skies for our overnight. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, head out the door for work, we're back into the mid 40s. Pretty typical and what we've been seeing the past couple of days. Upper 30s, again, for the Hudson Valley, Monticello. And then we'll climb back up into the mid 50s tomorrow, and then getting into the 60s on Saturday. So here's the quick shower that we have expected and kind of timing it out. So the further north you are, places like Poughkeepsie, Monticello, a bit of Hartford, we'll get those showers earlier around dinner time. If you're in New York, Long Island, still in parts of Connecticut and down into Westchester County, expect those showers kind of on and off Friday night, anywhere between 8 p.m. to midnight, and then it lasts a little bit longer into early Saturday morning, probably out of the way out east by 3 o'clock in the morning. Then we get up into the 60s. So Saturday should be nice and enjoyable. When I said not too much rain, I really mean it's not a lot at all, okay? We're looking at kind of barely measurable as it stands right now. So 57 tomorrow with that evening rain, then showers exit, and we have a beautiful, nice, mild Saturday. Sunday, unfortunately, we have some more rain, but again, it doesn't look like too much or too bad. Then that temperature drop comes, the winds pick up. We're looking at a high of 48 on Monday and just a high of 45 on Tuesday. Bianca?
Oof, yeah, definitely. We're going to feel that chill.
Yeah.
All right, Liv, thanks so much. Meanwhile, there's a brand new museum in Harlem in a brand new building on 125th Street. The Studio Museum in Harlem is going to promote the work of artists of African descent. Fox 5's Crystal Young gives us a look.
Well, the new Studio Museum in Harlem has 7 floors, multiple galleries, and really hundreds of amazing pieces. Look at this one behind me. It was done by Basquiat in 1984. It's called Bayou, and it's just one of the super cool pieces that you will find if you visit on November 15th. I am sliding over to Natasha Logan, and you know all about these gorgeous art pieces, and so many of them just pop right off the wall. Talk to me about this one.
This is an incredible painting by Emma Amos called Baby, and this section in the exhibition is all about color and the ways that artists shape what we do and don't see using various colors on the canvas. It's incredible.
Now let's slide over. I don't know why I'm intrigued by this large head.
Right.
Big heads are interesting.
Yeah, it's a stunning work. This is by Alison Starr, a prolific sculptor and printmaker. It's called Caldonia.
Okay. And I also love the way things are displayed. Some are in cases, some are not.
Right.
I know you're not supposed to touch anything, but some of them you want to really get up on. And then again, I love the gallery space, the high ceilings. It feels like the space that the Studio Museum deserved. Everything has its own space.
That's exactly what we want, and we did that, and so thank you for calling that out. Yeah, we have so much more space to show all of the different works from our collection and take artists their dreams and ambitions and really serve them well in our gallery spaces.
Fabulous. Okay, so the address is 144 West 125th, close to a lot of trains, off of Lenox, a brand new building, and it will be open for you to check out November 15th. All right, for now, I'm gonna pass it back inside. That will do it for me in Harlem to the studio.
A stunning new place. All right, it is National Caregiver Awareness Month. Next at noon, we're going to talk with advocates about the pressing matter and how you can get involved caring for a loved one. And it's almost time for Kicking and Screaming. Sports producer Lou Albanese joins me in studio. Coming up. right, so for those of you who don't know, November is National Caregiver Awareness Month, and families nationwide are grappling with this emotional, financial, and personal toll of caring for a loved one, especially if they have to also balance work, life, and kids. One of the original co-hosts of The View, Debbie Matenopoulos, left Hollywood at the height of her career to return home to Virginia and care for her father for 3 years until his passing, and has become a caregiving advocate. Debbie joins us now to talk about the importance of caregiving, along with Marvell Adams Jr., CEO of the Caregiver Action Network. Thank you so much for both being here.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, Debbie, I'm sorry about your father, but I'm glad that you were able to be there.
Me too.
Financially to help him and give him that care and love. I just want to ask a simple question, though. If we took away these family caregivers immediately starting tomorrow, what would happen to the healthcare system?
It would fall apart. First of all, it's incredibly expensive to have an elderly loved one who's perhaps having to be put in a facility, in a rehabilitation center or a assisted living facility. Super expensive. Insurance doesn't cover it all. A lot of people don't want to go into those homes. They want to stay at home. I know personally, for my experience, my dad, I'm Greek, and a lot of ethnic people are not interested in going to these homes. They want their family to take care of them, and they want to pass away where they are comfortable, and they want people that they know there. So I had the opportunity to, I mean, I feel like it's a blessing. It was never a difficult decision. It was a difficult position that I was in, having to care for him, because when you love someone so deeply and you see their health deteriorate, it's hard. But I was able to say, no, I'm stepping away from my career and all of this. And if I don't get a job when I come back, then it's okay, because this to me is more important. And I had the opportunity to go take care of him, but a lot of people don't. And a lot of people would come back and then not even have jobs. You know what I mean? Where their employers say, sorry, you've been gone for so long. Now your position's filled. Yeah, and we've seen people even try to manage it while they have their jobs and doing this. It's extremely difficult on people. Marvell, maybe you could talk about the fact that maybe if we could quantify this, how many hours per week are some of these family caregivers working, and what would that cost be like if a professional was doing that work?
Exactly the point. I mean, so when you're talking about family caregivers that are spending 10 to 20 hours a week in addition to their own full-time or part-time job, and you start to quantify that, you're talking about billions of dollars that are part of our economy right now if caregivers just cease to exist out there. But you also have to understand that managing that process and not being overwhelmed is a huge part of why we exist as a not-for-profit Caregiver Action Network, because without the backbone of our healthcare system being family caregiver, over 63 million, we cannot function as a society. We cannot have people thrive and actually have the healthcare needs met.
It's interesting that you guys came here together to talk about this, because I personally have seen this play out on both sides of my family, and it was so difficult to get family members paid for the work that they were doing. Why is it so difficult to begin with?
Well, it's hard to say, I think, because there's understaffing, there's exhaustion, there are people who are in a position who cannot leave their jobs and go do what they need to do. I think we've been talking about there's so much emphasis put on the beginning of life. How, you know, there's maternity leave, there's paternity leave. But wait a minute, what about caregivers leave? Because we place so much emphasis on the newborns and the new life, but what about the end of our life? Because
what a great point.
We're going to get there. Every single one of us here and every single one of us at home is going to be there at some point. You're either going to need caregiving or you're going to be a caregiver. So I think it's right now is the time for us to start talking about this and educating us, the people out there, because the truth is, the longer we live and the more the earth is populated, the more difficult it's going to become. So we really need to get ahead of it.
And your organization is doing just that, right? Helping people navigate this difficult situation.
Absolutely. So for nearly 30 years, Caregiver Action Network has led National Family Caregivers Month each November. And so for this year, nfcmonth.org is really a simplified approach where people can go in, find information that they need right there and right now and meet them where they are. Because being able to manage caregiving is what we're really about helping people on. Because outside of that, you want to be there for your mom. You want to be there for your sisters, your brothers, but you also cannot juggle everything in your life and be expected to do that. And so from the pay perspective of it, understanding that people do need those resources, that it's not free to take care of somebody. People put themselves into debt. We've worked with caregivers that have gone bankrupt, helping their loved ones, and it's like, so, well, we have to societally figure out a bigger way. But in the meantime, our organization is really supporting people through our resources that are all no cost, no cost, being able to connect them with technology that can also make it more manageable for them to be a caregiver.
Like there's something I've been using for my mom right now to get ahead of it, to make sure that I can keep track of what she's doing doing and make sure she's safe. There's something called Nomo Smart Care technology. There's all kinds of apps out there that you can go online and find that really can help with your caregiving journey.
Well, I certainly appreciate you both being here and talking about such an important issue that we are all going to have to deal with, as your point is. You made it there. Again, appreciate you both being here.
Thank you
Thanks
for
so
having
much.
us.
All right, we have more news straight ahead. Stay with us. All right, Netflix hoping lightning will strike twice with plans ramping up for another K-pop Demon Hunters movie. Multiple reports say Netflix and Sony have finalized a deal for K-pop Demon Hunters, a sequel that's currently slated for release in 2029. This comes after the first film was a smash hit for Netflix when it was released back in June, becoming the most watched movie in the streamer's history. One of the songs from the film, Golden, also topped the Billboard Hot 100 for several weeks earlier this year. Neither Netflix nor Sony have commented on the potential sequel just yet. And from a sci-fi franchise to a historical thriller and more, here is Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with a look at what is new in theaters and streaming.
I am going to escape the hangman's noose.
Russell Crowe, Rami Malek, and Michael Shannon lead the historical thriller Nuremberg. The film centers on the Allies building their case for the Nuremberg trials and a U.S. Army psychiatrist brought in to evaluate Nazi leaders who gets caught in a psychological showdown with Hermann Goering.
You've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
The Predator universe expands with Predator Badlands on the big screen, including in IMAX 3D. The action-adventure is set in the future on a deadly remote planet and follows a young Predator outcast who finds an unlikely ally as he searches for the ultimate adversary.
If you're having a hard time, I feel fine.
Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson lead the drama Die My Love, about a writer and young mother locked away in a rural old home, slowly slipping into madness.
My father is a very difficult person.
Elle Fanning and Stellan Skarsgård are part of Sentimental Value. The story is about sisters reunited with their estranged father, a former famous director, navigating a complicated relationship after one turns down a role in what he hopes is his comeback film.
You don't get a say in how I live my life.
The book-to-screen coming-of-age story, I Wish You All the Best, is about a high school junior thrown out of their home after coming out as non-binary, who moves in with their estranged older sister and finds support in new relationships. The cast includes Corey Fogelmanis, Alexandra Daddario, Cole Sprouse, and Lena Dunham.
Victor,
Frankenstein.
While streaming, Netflix adds Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro's reimagining of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, about a brilliant scientist who brings a monstrous creature to life in a daring experiment. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
All right, next at noon, Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. It is on its way. We're going to tell you where the 75-foot tall tree is coming from and when it is going to be lit. Plus, we are kicking and screaming with sports producer Lou Albanese and talking about that blockbuster trade by Sauce Gardner. A lot of kicking and screaming fans upset about this one. We're going to chat about it.
Under pressure.
The Jets traded Sauce today.
Where?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll get you a different one.
I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh.
But you are.
At someone
But you are
else
laughing.
crying.
You're laughing.
Okay, this video has made the rounds on social media. You've probably already seen it. And these two kids were on like Good Morning America or whatever this morning. This young fan bursting into tears when he found out that Gardner, his favorite player, was traded.
He's going to be scarred for life.
He responded, though, on social media telling the dad, quote, "You should have at least waited till tomorrow," which I don't even understand, by the way. But joining us now, longtime sports producer Lou Albanese, who may not even understand much better. But do you have any heartfelt feelings for these kids?
What? Say that
for the kids, like are you heartbroken for them?
I mean, every kid grew up like that. That's horrible that they posted that poor kid. That kid, every Christmas, they're going to run that video. Every Thanksgiving, the family's going to go around the table. The kid's going to be 25 years old. They're still going to pull him out crying.
This is not a bad thing. Do you not realize what happened to this kid after?
What?
Sauce Gardner reached out to the dad. They're getting a brand new jersey. This kid's on Good Morning America. He's probably going to get invited to a couple games. Is it that bad?
All right, so it's not that bad, but it's still emotional scars that this poor kid's going to have to go with for the rest. Every Thanksgiving, they're going to play that video. Let's remember when little Johnny, what's his name, by the way?
Little Johnny.
I don't even know what this kid's name is. Let's remember when the kid cried. You remember this when you were whatever? And he'd be like, oh, I mean, I'm married and I have 5 kids, and I still gotta see myself cry every Thanksgiving.
You gotta learn to take yourself not too seriously. I think this is the best thing the internet has seen because it got turned around into a great thing.
It did. It did for the kid. I will see that Sauce Garner's tweet.
Yes, he retweeted it.
Right there, tweeted out. Wait for tomorrow. Again, tomorrow, you think the kid would have cried just as easily as today.
Probably.
But at least Sauce would have been out of town, didn't have to see it.
Okay, well, so now that he's gone to the Colts, he's going to hook this kid up, I'm sure, and his family at a couple games with a jersey as well, which we already know that I think he's doing. So Colts a good fit for Sauce or no?
Oh, great fit for them. They're one of the top teams in the NFL. And they are with Daniel Jones, the quarterback. And now my dream Super Bowl.
Oh, my dream Super Bowl.
I'm going right now.
You got 2 seconds left.
Okay, 2 seconds left. Seahawks. Colts.
What
Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones. The battle of the discarded New York quarterbacks. That would be awesome. They're both in first place or right around it.
No one's
I
watch
want
that.
Seahawks, Colts, Sam versus Daniel Jones. Awesome.
Everyone in this studio is shaking their head and being like, get out of here.
Yes,
Nobody wants to see
awesome.
that. But you know what they do want to see? You getting a tramp stamp.
Yeah, right here.
No,
I even shaved my arm here.
A little tramp stamp. Oh, you already picked the spot? Because, you know, we've talked about it.
Why don't you see it?
We have talked about getting tattoos about one of the sports teams. And I'm telling you right now, we had to jump through some legal hoops to make this happen. And it is happening next Thursday. But we are going to let you guys pick which tattoo we're going to get permanently put on our body.
They're going to stick us with all the losers. We're not going to get the winning teams. It's going to be one of the losers.
Okay, look, we're going to put this up on social media. You can pick a tattoo for Lou. You can pick a tattoo for me. His is going on his probably his right butt cheek, but that's fine. If you want to see that, you can tune in.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go right here.
You're going to go in the back.
Right
on the back? Okay.
Where I can't see it.
Or the tramp stamp. You can't see that one either.
No, we're not doing a tramp stamp. We're doing a big giant thing on my back with a tree. Put all the logos on a tree. That'll be great.
Because all the hair back there or what?
No, you couldn't get through.
Okay.
You couldn't get through.
I'm sorry.
What are we doing here?
We're going downhill right now. But we're going to continue this talk a little bit later when Kicking and Streaming starts.
Yes, we are. And we're going to kick and scream that father for traumatizing that kid.
Honestly, good for you.
That kid's going to be traumatized forever.
No, he won't. He's got Sauce as his new friend.
He's going to be 35 years old with 3 kids, and he'll still be playing that video. Remember the crybaby. Remember the crybaby.
More noon straight ahead. Make sure you tune in to Kicking and Streaming.
Let's remember the crybaby.
Watch
when they cried.
Get out of here.
o'clock news.
Well, it is a sign the holidays are right around the corner. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree now on its way to the city. The 75-foot tall Norway spruce was cut down this morning in East Greenburgh in upstate New York. A huge crane hoisted the 11-ton tree right onto this massive trailer. It's going to be decorated with 50,000 lights before the tree lighting ceremony happens on December 3rd. Well, look at that. Something finally taller than Liv.
Well, I don't know. I have to stand next to it.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Wait till it comes to Rockefeller Center. You can stand next side by side. We'll see which one's taller.
Yeah, and you know what? It is going to start feeling a little bit like Christmas season.
Uh-oh.
We have a low of 40 degrees tonight, mostly clear. Those winds will die down as we get into the evening hours. Tomorrow, a pretty mild day. It'll be a bit nicer. Through most of the day, we'll have sun and clouds, but then we have evening rain pretty late if you're in New York City or Long Island. Starts a little earlier for the Hudson Valley. We warm up on Saturday, 66 degrees. Those showers leave, so that's a nice day. We get some more rain Sunday, but temperatures stay nice and mild with a high of 65. Then the big cool down happens. Windy for the first few days of next week, and just starting off with highs in the 40s. Bianca.
All right, Liv, sounds great. Well, that is our show, but before we go, here's one last thing to leave you with. The snack that smiles back, goldfish, is making a comeback to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but it might be hard to catch. This fish-shaped snack is returning to the iconic parade for the first time in more than 10 years with what it calls the world's smallest parade float. Yeah, the company says the littlest float is only 14 goldfish crackers long. It's inspired by its recent Snow Day commercial as well. See if you can catch this one. We'll see you tomorrow. 25 Words or Less is next. And if you want more news, tune into the Fox local app streaming right now.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for Newsroom Live. It's Thursday, November 6th. We have some breaking news we're going to get to in just a moment. My colleague Antoine Lewis is joining us for this. And we're also going to be talking about travel delays and what's happening with the airports and the flights given the shutdown and many, many other things. So stay with us right here. But first we're going to get to this breaking news. Joining me is, wait, let me turn the phone. Everyone's calling here. Okay. Joining me right now is Antoine Lewis. He's our Fox 5 anchor and reporter, and this is really horrible news.
Yeah, a lot's going on. Just to bring everybody up to speed, Lisa, we've been following breaking news since around 11:30 or so this morning. Dallas Cowboys 24-year-old defensive end Marshawn Nealand apparently was found dead this morning. Now, according to the Associated Press, he was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but Lisa, there's more to this story. So here's what we've been learning in the last hour or so.
Oh, wow. That's so sad.
Yeah, police say that Nealand was evading Texas state troopers. He was in his vehicle, and they were trying to get in touch with him or to catch up with him because they believe he was fleeing on foot from the scene of an accident. So when they eventually caught up with the vehicle, they apparently found him inside the vehicle, dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A little bit about his career. He'd been with the Cowboys for about 2 years or so. He appeared in 7 games for Dallas this season. He was selected number 56 in the 2024 draft coming out of Western Michigan University. The Cowboys did release a statement saying they were deeply saddened by all of this. He apparently had a girlfriend also. They mentioned her, Catalina, in their statement. But yeah, a lot is going on with this. TMZ is also, as you know, following and tracking this because it just seemed bizarre. 24-year-old football player.
He just made a touchdown, right?
Just made a touchdown.
In the
his first
Monday
career
game.
Monday night against they lost against the Cardinals, but his very first professional career touchdown came on Monday of this week. So still a lot of pieces to put together in this, but right now it's being investigated by Texas authorities as an apparent suicide, and just don't know what the circumstances are, still waiting for more information to come along. But, one of the things that I know we want to make sure that we do is to let people know when they're in crisis, if they're struggling with information, that there is help available. 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We always say, the lifeline, because that's the most important thing. But still we're waiting for more information on that. But just, first
just
career,
so sad.
First career touchdown on Monday, and training, all that's involved.
No,
just to get
tremendous.
to the NFL, or and to get drafted, to get out of
and
college.
At 24 to
He's
be
only 24.
scoring your, national television, and you're scoring your first touchdown. And I saw one of the statements that came from the team, and they basically said that he was the type of player, that only 2 years, right, into the league. He was the type of player, he put his heart and soul into absolutely everything and was constantly trying to improve and really working at it. And I'm sure, too, we have to await. They're saying apparent suicide,
right,
which, as Antoine's reporting, and that's because they have to do a medical, full medical examiner's report, a full investigation, I'm sure, with the Texas state troopers and whoever the local authorities are.
Frisco.
But,
Frisco is the local,
Oh, it was in San Francisco?
No, Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, Texas,
the suburb
okay.
outside of Dallas. Is the one that's local. But it's just, happened Thursday. His agent, Marshawn Nealon's agent, actually put out a statement saying that he was heartbroken. He'd watched this young man, to your point, grow and develop, connect with an agent. You know how that is. That's a bond. They try to guide you. They shepherd you, to that. But like you said, Lisa, we wait for more information. We don't know what the circumstances were. You've seen a number of these involving athletes, involving, celebrities of other mediums, and we just have to wait. But thoughts and prayers certainly with his family, they left behind. But 24 years old, having just scored his first touchdown, as a pro this week, seems a lot of other pieces.
And you know what, it can be a tremendous amount of pressure for them too, because when they're in when they're in season, when they're actually playing, there's the traveling, there's the pressure, there's the scrutiny, everything. I mean, imagine like every single mistake you make, and it's played out on a national and now even international stage that millions of people are watching.
And social media in this day and
comments,
age, the comments, and just looking at some, if he fumbled the ball, then you have to read the comments section over and over again.
Right.
Everyone's, trying to attack that medium. But so I'm working on this for 5, so we'll have the very latest as well with that.
All right, we'll be following your report closely with that. And of course, our condolences to his family, to the teammates, to the community, and also the people who came up with him through school, Western Michigan, and all the other schools, I'm sure, affected by this, because I'm sure his success, at the age of 24, getting to this point, really inspired
is an inspiration
a lot
to
of boys in particular. So,
especially boys who are looking for, young men who are looking for a way out, and just to make their families proud and to do right by their families. Because parents invest a lot.
A tremendous amount. The whole family is behind them. Some cases, the whole town is behind these guys.
I was about to say the whole town could be behind them. So
is behind them. So our thoughts and prayers. And if you're experiencing any trouble yourself, 988 is the help lifeline. Help, just call for anywhere, English and Spanish, and please get that help, because we just don't want to lose any more lives. But our condolences to everyone who knew and loved him, and we'll be back right after this. Antoine, thank you so much.
See you soon.
Welcome back to Newsroom Live. I'm your host, Lisa Evers. I'm a Fox 5 News reporter and anchor and host here on Fox 5. This is our Newsroom Live segment. This week it's Thursday. It's the Newsroom Live with Lisa. I'm allowed to say that. And what we're talking about, everybody, it's November. We're looking at, November 6th today. We all know what happens at the end of the month. In just several weeks is Thanksgiving. A lot of concerns about travel, especially at the airports, with the government shutdown affecting air traffic controllers in particular, and a lot of other airport operations that are going on. Let's hear first, though, before we go to our reporter Linda Schmidt, who is at LaGuardia Airport right now. Let's just take a listen to Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy.
Increased pressure in these 40 markets, and we looked at the data. This was data driven, and so taking 10% of the flights out will reduce that pressure, which is what we want to do. Now, does that mean there's going to be no delays? No, Brian, there's potentially still going to be delays. If we have staffing triggers and we don't have enough controllers in an airspace where we did cut 10%, you might see additional delays. However, you've covered Newark, right? We had massive delays at Newark early in the summer, and we reduced the capacity at Newark, and then all the flights flew on time, right? There was no more delays. I can't guarantee that's the case here, but I'm hopeful that we're going to have more on-time flights, less cancellations.
A lot of people hoping that this all gets resolved and things can return to normal. But let's get a live report from my colleague, Fox 5 News reporter and anchor Linda Schmidt, who's at LaGuardia Airport. She's been there all morning. Linda, what's it like over there? Because some people think it's total chaos because of cancellations. Others, a lot of uncertainty. What are you seeing happening there?
Right. Yeah, hi there, Lisa. Well, today things are running pretty smoothly. They don't expect that chaos to kick in until tomorrow, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to pan over and show you what the board looks like where we are right now. Again, we're at LaGuardia Airport. This is a board. It's got 56 flights on it. There are about 12 of them out of the 56 that are not running on time today. But this picture right here, Lisa, is going to be a whole different story tomorrow, because tomorrow is when the FAA starts reducing flights out of New York area airports by 10%, the number of flights. Also, at some of the other busiest airports across the country, including here, LA, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, Miami, and Orlando. And anybody who has their flight booked right now, today they're going to start getting notified by their airlines that their flights are going to be canceled. So just imagine you're sitting at home, you've got a flight coming up tomorrow, Saturday next week, and it's canceled suddenly. So, and then people are scrambling, and they're not going to be able, more than likely, to get other flights out of these busiest airports, because flight reduction is going to be down by 10%. But as you just heard Secretary Duffy there, he says, look, the reason that we have to do this is because of the government shutdown. Lisa, you know this. We've had the air traffic controller situation, shortage going on in this country for years now.
Right.
And then the government shutdown right now is just exacerbating it, because these folks are working 6-day weeks, mandatory overtime. They're not getting paid. The shutdown started October 1st, so they're not getting paychecks. So number one, not only are they aggravated, but they feel the strain, they're overworked, and a lot of them are now calling out sick.
Yeah, and we had there was a report, Linda, as you know, that last Friday, that 80% of the air traffic controllers at JFK Airport were not there. They didn't show up to work, which they were doing, whatever they were doing, probably trying to get other jobs to pay their bills. And then, like you said, you talk about that on top of the shortage. And then Secretary Duffy used an interesting word. He was talking about different trigger points. So he said in previous interviews that they've had this, that they're watching it, monitoring it very closely. But if it ever reaches a level where they're concerned about safety, they're going to do further reductions. So I guess at this point, it's really the only thing to bet on is uncertainty.
Absolutely right, Lisa, because who knows when this government shutdown is going to be over. And the number one concern here is safety at the airports and safety in the skies. And so far, Secretary Duffy is saying the safety issue has not reached a critical point yet, and they are trying to avoid that. That's why they are reducing the number of flights by 10%. That's today, that's the announcement today. And again, passengers are going to start getting notified today about their flights being canceled. But the 10% reduction kicks in at these airports. And again, the busiest airports, New York area airports being among them, that starts tomorrow. And even if, like Lise, just think about this, even if the government shutdown ends, say, for example, next Wednesday, it's not like this reduction in flights is going to change like this. It's going to take multiple days, maybe even up to a week, to get things back to normal.
Right, and then you also have people that you can't rebook on another. This isn't like one airline's having a problem, and you can rebook and try to rebook on another airline, or maybe fly a different route if you're flying cross country, take a connecting flight, that type of thing. Because those airports you mentioned, those are all major airports and major hubs.
That's right. I mean, we're talking about Atlanta. Atlanta on a good day is extremely difficult to get through if you've ever tried to fly
yes, I have.
Through Atlanta. And I've had family. I had family who came in last weekend, and one came in from Arizona, and her flight was 5 hours late. They were supposed to be getting in at like 10 o'clock at night. They got in at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Somebody else flying from the Midwest, same thing. They were supposed to get in at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They didn't get in until 1 o'clock in the morning. So people have been dealing with these massive delays for a couple of weeks now, and it's about to get a heck of a lot worse starting tomorrow.
Yeah, just a real concern as we're going into Thanksgiving. And then, Linda, anything else about this whole situation that strikes you as making this unique or unusual compared to other times of heavy travel where we've seen delays?
Well, yeah, because right now, Lisa, they're giving you an exact figure at this point, 10%. That's a big chunk. And who knows if they could end up raising that number. I mean, if it doesn't work and things continue to get worse and the shutdown continues, who knows what they're going to do. We just never know. When you see the airport right now, I mean, everything is calm and it's fine right now.
Good,
like
right.
I said, where we are, there are 56. Yeah, it looks good. It's like a nothing here right now. But there was a gentleman who arrived here. He was on his way back home to Miami, and he said, I'm getting out of town before this whole thing hits tomorrow. So he was lucky. He was able to skip out of town before it happens. But anybody that's going to be arriving at the airport tomorrow, just brace yourself, because it's not going to be a pretty picture.
And also, too, you made such a good point. I just want to reemphasize, and that is, make sure you're checking your emails today, because those emails about these flight cancellations will be going out starting today. So if it's it's tomorrow, next day, whatever, but you need to know. This way you can know as soon as possible. But Linda, thank you so much for that report. We appreciate it. This is Fox 5 News reporter and anchor Linda Schmidt, live from LaGuardia Airport. And again, check your email if you have flights booked, because there's a 10% reduction at major airports throughout the United States, including New York and the New York airports. And you will be notified if your flight has been canceled. Mandatory a cancellation of flights, according to Transportation Secretary Duffy. This is Newsroom live from the Fox 5 New York newsroom. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have a new mayor coming in to New York City on January 1st. The mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani already making some moves, of course, raising a lot of questions. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're looking at a live picture right there, Midtown Manhattan, Avenue of the Americas. Welcome back to Newsroom Live. I'm your host, Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News reporter and anchor. And we're talking about the weather, because the weather's been a little chilly, but it's really been gorgeous. I'm joined right now by our colleague, my colleague Liv Johnson, with all the weather, information that we need.
Wait, did you see the sunset last night?
No.
Did you?
Amazing.
Did anyone around here? Do you know what I'm talking about? It was gorgeous last night. Yeah, purple and orange. It was amazing. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't even see it posted. Sorry, that was just my thought as we were looking at the sun. Because it has been pretty. It's been really windy. And that's going to stay true for us today. But that's a nice little live picture. Plenty of sunshine.
Yep.
And you know what? Temperatures aren't too bad. I mean, it's low 50s, so we're a little bit below average. 53. Sun and clouds, but not too bad. We were just talking about the dew point temperatures, aka humidity, which is not awful either. We're kind of getting into that safe spot where you can have more good hair days.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, because I was telling Liv, I've never, in New York, I think this is one of the longest stretches of good hair weather where there's not that killer humidity that, like, the second you walk out the door,
yeah, I know, like all summer.
Yeah, like Miami.
Yeah.
All year round.
Yes. So windy through the afternoon, then it calms down. I mean, our satellite radar, you can see we don't have any systems coming our way just yet. Tomorrow, pretty similar temperature-wise, a little bit warmer. And it's going to be probably a bit more cloudy, and we unfortunately do have rain on the way. So, but it's like a really quick shower late Friday probably, and then it's out of the way by Saturday, and we're going to be in the mid 60s on Saturday, so not bad.
Oh wow!
Right, I know. And then rain returns Sunday morning, but then Monday and Tuesday we drop into the upper 40s.
All right, so
as the high.
Oh, okay. So that's going to require a change.
So we have 65 on Saturday and 48 on Monday.
I know.
So big difference, yeah.
That is a big difference. I know, and I like to hold off putting on the big puffer coat
Yes.
until the last
I always
possible,
say that.
last possible minute.
Right.
Monday may be the day.
Monday might be the first day I bring it out.
Might be the first day.
Because if that's the high,
right,
and we're on our way to work in the morning, and it's had a heavy cloud cover, it's going to be mid 40s, probably feeling like low 40s. So yeah, I might bring it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Ugh,
maybe we'll see. It might squeeze a little bit to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But Liv, thank you so much. I know you got
of
other
course.
stuff to prepare for.
Thank
but thank you
you
so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the good weekend report. We're kicking
Thank
it off
you.
pretty well. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you again later on this afternoon. And this is Newsroom Live. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Newsroom Live. We're broadcasting live from the Fox 5 New York newsroom. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News reporter, anchor and host of the weekly show Street Soldiers. You can see it Fridays at 4:30 right here on Fox 5 and on the Fox Local app. And what we want to talk about right now is there is a new, I don't want to say the phrase new sheriff in town because he's the mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. And today we were told he was heading down to Puerto Rico, to San Juan, Puerto Rico, for something that's called the Somos Conference. You may remember, it used to be called Somos el Futuro, We Are the Future. It's focusing on the Hispanic communities and also empowering them, providing more education. There you see the mayor-elect right now. And he's going to be speaking to a lot of people that he already knows because there's a lot of New York State legislators, which is what Mamdani was before he was elected mayor. He was a New York State assemblyman. A lot of his colleagues will be there in San Juan for this conference. Governor Hochul may be there. A lot of business leaders, labor leaders, leaders of major nonprofit community organizations are there. And it's a huge networking event, obviously in a wonderful setting, especially in the month of November in San Juan there. And he's made quite a splash already, just in not even the first 48 hours of having won the election. Mayor Eric Adams here in New York City has said that he wanted to sit down with Mayor-elect Mamdani, give him a book of basically, this is what you need to know. This is what I can give you and pass on to you. He gave him some advice already and said, listen, it's not the certainties you have to worry about in this job, it's the uncertainties, because of course in New York, anything can happen any time of the day or night, holidays, 7 days a week, middle of the night, whatever. And then he also suggested to Mamdani, who faced tremendous criticism during the campaign about his previous comments about defunding the police. Mayor Eric Adams, who is a former NYPD captain, he told Mamdani, he said, I will go with you to every single precinct in New York City so that you can personally apologize to those officers and let them know that you value them, that you appreciate them, and that you respect their work. That's a pretty, we'll see what happens with that. But Mayor Adams said that, and we'll see if Mamdani takes him up on that. And of course, President Trump says, I think it's appropriate for him to give us a call. We'll be watching that as well. But thank you for joining me for Newsroom Live today, and have a wonderful day. And we also wanted to let you know about a very special program. It's called Make Camo Your Cause. It's sponsored by Fox 5. Our Fox TV stations proudly salute our nation's veterans and the organizations that serve them every day. We believe, this is the mission statement, we believe that our veterans deserve to live with dignity and independence, not on the streets. That's why we're making Camo Our Cause in support of the Honor U.S. Vets campaign. Join us by making a donation and wearing camo this Veterans Day. You can post your camo on social.